It's Penn and Teller. They're on the road together, but their magic carpet's just a dirty rug. So long, Las Vegas. They'll go someplace contagious and get infected by the magic bug. Around the world, down exotic streets, to gaze upon amazing and disgusting feats. Adventure calls. Have you got the cups and balls to stomach blood and guts and gore and more? Come join them as they travel and the mysteries unravel on the Magic and Mystery Tour.
Hi, I'm Penn, and this is my partner, Teller. We are Penn and Teller, and this is a program about the art of photography. I mean, you've all seen photographs in magazines and newspapers and even in museums, so what's the big deal? Well, photographers, just like other artists, try and show you something that they think is special or important about the world. And they do this by putting a frame around what they want you to see. They have to decide what they're going to put into their pictures and what they're going to leave out. For example, the frame of this picture of us is the edge of your TV screen. The TV camera operator has thought about this frame and carefully chosen exactly what to put inside it and what to leave out.
We are in Cairo, Egypt, and we're going to be searching for the Gali Gali Men, the street performers, street magicians of Cairo. It's the street magicians. We're in. Are you getting this? Were you able to hear me during this? So here we are on the very busy streets of Cairo, looking for some street performers. Let out your clutch. Well, I don't know how they would work these streets without getting killed. The cups and balls is probably one of the oldest tricks in magic. Back in Vegas, we do our own version. But the Gali Gali Men of Egypt did it first. Hundreds, maybe thousands of years ago. Oh, don't hit the child.
Food.
You know, there's nothing Teller and I like more than embracing a new culture.
We're not going to eat anything. We have, in our hotel rooms, we have cans and cans of tuna fish shipped over here from Canada.
Well, you know, one of the best things about going to a new place is trying the cuisine,
trying
you
the
know?
food.
I mean, there's some amazing dishes
And that's
here.
also a good way to lose 30 pounds.
Well, you never know. I mean, it could be a fly that lands on you that's going to give you the disease that you've never had,
Meet
you know?
Shona, our guide, translator, and, when she's looking where she's going, our driver.
Well, you know, I wouldn't eat the street food.
Yeah.
Right.
So although we're not, germophobic Howard Hughes, we are falling into that role.
You're becoming one agent.
We are. I'm not, I won't be growing my fingernails out, but I am from Vegas. So we're being very careful.
You're being
so I had
wusses.
tuna fish on crackers, and then I had what I bought. The Gali Gali Men of Egypt, we kind of think are our last chance. You know who they are? The Gali Gali Men? Yeah, for those of you that don't know, the Gali Gali Men are street magicians. They used to perform for all the tourists and I guess also for the locals. But they did a different kind of magic than the kind of stuff we picture in the States. And we are not particularly liked by Western magicians. I mean, we thought maybe the Gali Gali Men would like us because, one, they couldn't understand us, which is always a big advantage. And two, we do smaller things. Like, we're going to have you pick a card. Just tell us you're going to riffle down the deck and just say stop whenever you like.
Stop.
Oh, that's a good place. Now look at the card. I'm not going to look at it.
Okay.
I'll be looking over at the pyramids in the far distance. And now that card's lost in the deck. Watch his hands. Don't he misdirect you?
Right.
Stare at his hands. Be nothing fancy here. And so these magicians, these Western magicians, with their big stage shows, they've got, boxes, and they torture women, and they got a smoke machine. Oh, what are you ready? Ready? And is this your card? 2 of diamonds. There it is. Show.
No,
not the two. Of course, not 2 of diamonds. We wanted to prove there was a 2 of diamonds in the deck because we thought you might be skeptical.
Right.
They have wind machines, smoke machines, bad white boy Motown music. 7 of hearts, is that your card?
That's it.
Of course it's not your card, because it changes magically to your card, which is the 4 clubs. No. We're getting closer, though.
Sorry.
And, yes, but look at all the different cards in the deck. All different. So they have this whole style of doing magic that's different from ours, in that we now have the 3 of hearts, always a popular card, probably the one you didn't pick, because the 3 of hearts changes magically into the 2 of clubs. That's your card?
No.
So,
no.
okay, so we're not like the Western Magician, but the Gally Men would love us. And somewhere, Shona, in this big, beautiful city, we're going to find the Magicians of Cairo. And is that your card? 3 of clubs.
That's it. Yes.
Right on his back, the 3 of clubs. How do you get that card there? And how do you make it so big? Look at, there's mosques and people and falafel stands. Brushing his teeth with bottled water. I mean, Teller has goggles here that he wears in the shower so that he doesn't get stuff in his eyes when he's showering, and he actually put tape over his mouth to shower so he wouldn't get any microbes in there. So, you know, we're Penn and Teller, and we're here in Egypt, so you don't have to go. And don't mind that person there. It's one of the people that works with us. We were told that if there were street performers anywhere in Egypt, they would be in the cafes on Muhammad Ali Street in Old Cairo. They come here to swap news and look for work. Of all the magicians, someone called Karam is said to be the best and is rumored to be a relative of Luxor Gali Gali. Karam hasn't shown up yet, but some other magicians have. Our first taste of Egyptian magic, the Chinese slinking rings. I was sick of that trick in the United States. I don't even like it over here. You know, the more you see it, it grows on you. I get into magic when I was about 12 years old, and I was sick of the linking rings by the time I was 13. Seems like every guy and his brother and his camel do the linking rings. I'm starting to pick up the subtleties of it.
The linking rings, if properly done, is all about the ambiguity of light. It's all about the ambiguity of these gleaming things which look so much like they're linked, and then, a second later, look so much like they're unlinked. The overlapping looks so similar to the linking. There's a visual ambiguity that's quite a beautiful. I thought I would show this old guy my closing linking ring move. And he tried it, and he tried to follow what it was that I was doing, and I showed him a second time. But there's just such a completely different way of thinking about magic that it didn't connect with him.
I think that's great.
Trying to pass this piece of technical information across the language barrier and not quite succeeding was a very powerful sort of moment.
And then Karam shows up, just back from performing in Dubai. We heard he's good, very good, and we're eager to see just what he can do and to find out if he is in fact related to Luxor Gali Gali. There's no business like show business.
I've done some glass eating in the carnival, and I know some glass eaters, and he was showing off a lot. He was eating bigger bites than he really should have been.
Yum. Last night Karam did a trick for me in which he had 3 cups and 3 balls. He put 1 ball under each cup, and then after a certain amount of chat revealed that there was 1 ball under each cup. A normal person looking at it would say, so what? But to a magician, this was an absolutely terrific trick. Because when he covered the first ball, he apparently stole that ball out and palmed it. Then when he covered the second ball, he apparently inserted the ball that he had palmed. Then when he covered the third cup, he apparently stole that ball out, and then he took 1 more look under the second cup. So to somebody like me, who's thinking about moves, I thought that he had snuck the balls from each of the end cups under the center cup. And then he asked me, how many balls are under each cup? And I said, 1, 1, 1. That's because I was playing the role of a sucker, right? I was saying, okay, I'll be nice to him. I'll be nice to this guy from this foreign country. I'll pretend to be a spectator. And then he lifted the cups. And lo and behold, it was 1, 1, 1, when I was absolutely sure that there were all 3 under the middle because I had seen him do the sleights. It was absolutely amazing. And he completely took me in. And I don't think there's a nicer thing that you can do for a fellow magician than use his knowledge to fool the heck out of him.
So, how cool was that? Oh, thank you so much. See, this is what happened here. I admired Teller's bottle of water, so he brought it over to me. That's what happened with the egg bag. Teller was trying to compliment her on how good the egg bag was, and he ended up getting it as a gift. You see, in our culture, the United States of America, if you say, boy, that's a really nice BMW, the guy goes, yes, it is. But over here, you say that's a really nice egg bag, and they give you the egg bag. See, this is the egg bag that was given to Teller by Karam's mother.
Okay. Oh.
What's the problem, Aldo?
I'm trying to take a picture of my food, one that tells the world how I feel about it. It's just not working.
Move the camera closer.
That's a good idea, Eddie. Oh, it's still no good. It doesn't tell the whole food story. It looks too much like a commercial, Eddie. It doesn't tell the world what I think about my food. What am I going to do?
I have an idea, Aldo.
It's perfect, Eddie.
It does show everyone exactly how you feel about your dog food. The perfect.
She has really good balance. Any secret messages yet?
I don't see anything.
And it's enormous. It's big. It's big. The Sphinx is big. It's very big.
Yeah, I can figure that out myself.
I got the black one here.
Oh my goodness, this is
Nefertiti.
Nefertiti, yeah.
Yes, and I got the bigger one.
I dated her in high school. You know, this looks a lot like Cher. You don't have any Elvis memorabilia, do you? Do you have anything with Elvis on it? We're from the U.S. We liked our pyramids with Elvis.
You're an American?
Yeah.
God bless America, buddy.
Yeah. And how much is this?
$10.
$10?
That's not
No, $5.
$5. It's worth more than $5. I'll give you $7 for it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
They expect you to bargain.
I have the whole schmear here. I'll give you the whole schmear.
The whole schmear?
From the evil eye.
Yeah, I haven't had any
Get the evil eye away.
I have no evil eye problem. I would get in the evil eye here.
Just one more for this.
No, I don't want that papyrus.
You want? I mean,
No, I don't want papyrus. No. I have a computer now. Oh dear.
Make Phil. Hi, hon, hi, hey.
Do I just get on like this?
Ship of the desert.
The what?
The ship of the desert.
Yes, I know. The ship of the desert. Avast, ye mateys! I'm on the ship of the desert.
Hold tight. Lean
Oh,
back.
gee. Be harder. Oh. Mother. Oh, sorry. Hello, Kim. I'm on a camel now. Yeah, we're trying to find magic in each. This is
Daisy. Yeah.
This is Daisy the camel.
He's going to get nice plate, nice t-shirt.
This was an exciting new experience on a spitting beast that wanted me dead. These are the actual cups used for the cups and balls by Penn and Teller. And this is the land where the cups and balls started thousands and thousands of years ago. And as you saw in the cafe, it's still being done. We do it in the United States of America with plastic. They do it here with the metal cups. The ones that Karen was using were over 150 years old.
全支船戦車に稼働。これより潜水艇の遠隔操作を開始する。至難神の諸君、こちらはネバ。荘厳な海底の世界へようこそ。神秘に満ちたこの海には高度な進化を遂げた知的生命体が存在するかもしれん。諸君の任務はその謎を解き明かすことだ。マニュアルサーチライト点灯準備完了。よろしい。潜水艇の諸君、サーチ チライトは手元のレバーで操作できる。細心の注意を払って探索に当たってくれたまえ。慎重に調べるのだ。いかなる異変も見逃してはならない。諸君の発見が人類の新たな知識をもたらすかもしれんものだ。間もなく警戒信号です。よろしい。ゆっくりと浮上させよう。船長、潜水艇防御装置が作動しました。このままでは潜水艇が危険です。何かに襲われているに違いない。全速力で通過させるのだ。
Now we're going to talk about the art of photography. Teller is running the camera, and he has taken the edge of the picture and put it here and here. That's called the frame. And framing is very important because what's inside the frame is in the picture, and what's outside the frame isn't. This is true for painting, drawing, and photographs. We think of photographs as being somehow more real than, say, paintings or drawings, but photographers, like all artists, have to choose what particular piece of the world they want you to see. Even if a photographer were to show you a big, wide picture, they still, that's good. Excuse me. Even if a photographer were to show you a picture of the whole big studio, they would still not be showing you the whole world. They would be choosing the part of it they want you to look at. Now, a good photographer would be framing me now, because the camera person would notice that I'm the one talking, and therefore I should be the center of attention in this particular picture. When photographers compose their photographs, they're making choices, pointing out to you what interests them about the subjects. Teller, those aren't your potato chips. In this show, we'll talk about what photographers might be thinking when they make these choices in their framing.
It's really pure magic for magicians, and really cross-cultural and very, very mean-spirited, and totally snaked the little guy. Do you like my hat? Do I look like a tourist? I'm worried about that. How about some Las Vegas magic here in the Egypt desert? See those pyramids? Remember what they look like, because pretty soon they'll be gone. Gully, gully, gully! Gully, gully, gully! And gone. Penn and Teller vanish the pyramids.
Now, you'd think that a photographer would know enough to put the focal point or the most important part of the picture in the middle, right? I mean, we all do that. Well, sometimes photographers don't. It's one of the tricks they use to get you to think about the things that they want you to think about. Instead of putting the most important thing, the focal point, in the middle of the frame, they sometimes put it close to one of the edges. This makes you think, not only about the focal point, but also about what's in the rest of the frame, and also what the rest of the picture and the focal point have to do with one another.
Now, Cairo's a beautiful city full of friendly, wonderful people, and we enjoyed everybody we met. But the air in Cairo, there's 17 million people in this little basin with no wind, and it's the feeling of being locked in a hermetically sealed closet with a rubber hose coming off the exhaust pipe of a 1962 Chevy V8 being revved.
順番にお座りください。間を空けずに順番にお願いいたします。さあ、足元よく見てゆっくりどうぞ。こんにちは。私はグアム号の船長、福田です。危険がいっぱいのジャングル探検にようこそ。心配ですか？この象のお守りがあれば大丈夫。大きな声でパオーンと叫べばきっと何とかしてくれるはず。一度練習しましょう。せーの。パオーン！いいですね。それでは出発。あっという間に1週間が経ちました。ここは雨の森です。この雨には美肌効果がありますので、皆さんこうやってお肌にパタパタしてあげてください。ジャングルの栄養分が豊富に含まれています。パパのくしゃみ、のりの汗、象の肌の分、このジャングルにワニが全部で何匹いるか覚えてみてください。生態の形はワニと泳ごう楽しいジャングルの旅片道切符をプレゼント。
We thought we'd let you in on some of the tricks that photographers use to make you see things in new ways and also make you think. The first thing photographers think about is subject matter. What are they going to take a picture of? And once they decide on the subject matter, they have to pick the focal point. Focal point actually means the thing that you focus on. It's the thing the photographer wants to emphasize. Photographers have a few secrets about how to make you notice the focal point in their pictures, which is where they want you to look. They play around with a lot of the same things that painters and sculptors do. Size, for instance. If you want to emphasize something, one way to do it is to make it very big in the frame. When the subject's focal point takes up most of the frame, it becomes very important.
Golly men used to board ships and entertain passengers with their tricks in Alexandria. Why not look there? Maybe the air's cleaner. Alexandria, named after Alexander the Great, home of Cleopatra, and also home of Mustafa of Alexandria, a magician, also called Bafa, who, if we're lucky, is going to swallow a snake for us. By his own admission, the greatest magician in all of Egypt. Bafa's signature trick is a snake swallow. He's out in the countryside trying to catch a snake, and we're on our way to find him. I'm still dealing with a little bit of my Cairo cough and congestion, but I'm still, it can't keep me down. And when you see me watching the trick, I'll have a proper tie on. And there's sheep and children, and goats and geese.
Geese and ducks. Both, I think.
Sir, have you found a snake?
لقيت تعبان هنا؟ لقيته هنا؟ والله؟ فين? He said he found one.
Oh, good. Well, that's a snake.
I'll just stand back a bit.
That's a nice one. It's molting a little bit, huh? This is so great.
هنشوف اللعبة يعني.
Well, let's get a little bit of a crowd. You want to do it for the kids?
هنعمل للأطفال؟
What? Yeah.
طيب. هنعمل لعبة. خليهم يجوا. تعالوا.
I don't know if that snake is the best crowd gathering I've ever seen.
snake doesn't seem to exactly pull him in. It looked like, to me, like he put a snake in his mouth and had it come out of his mouth. I'm very happy with that. You like that? You like that? Good. You like that? Is that a good trick? Is that a good trick, huh? Very good trick. We're all very happy with this. Back at the hotel, we start to think about Baffa's performance in the village.
The snake thing in the mouth he invented, which the snake thing in the mouth is this whole level of trick that's very, very different from magic. It's more just, it's more equivalent to the kind of thing when you take a school bus in grade school, the kind of things you do to try to get the girls to throw up. It's much more of that kind of style of entertainment. There's a trick he does, a turban trick, which I guess we do 3 tricks with that same thing in probably, 3 minutes. You won't see this in real time because it wouldn't hold up for television, but he took about, 12 minutes? 15? 20? Long time to do the same trick, very methodically. People stop and have conversations and then go back. It's a whole different, it is the opposite of the MTV generation. I mean, when he camps out there, he would just do it, different kids would come up and he'd do it again, do it again. Kids kind of cycle through, and it's all very, very gentle. Nothing like that. We're going to tell you. There's just none of that stuff. It's just all very,
I don't know if we ever got to know the real Baffa. The only thing we could find out is that he lives in the top story of a condemned apartment building in a seedy part of town. And the powers that be wouldn't let us film there. Like that one too? Good? He's digging it all. He's digging it all. After Baffa had finished his little show in the village, Teller went over and through our translator said that it was a really wonderful show and complimented him on the show and talked about some specific things that he'd really liked. And Baffa, of course, turned his back because when you're the great Baffa, what are compliments from Teller? Sobi Ashmawi, Golly Golly Man of Cairo.
Pen. Pen.
Pen.
Pen.
My name is Teller. The whole Ashmawi family is Golly Golly. The son, the father, the grandfather, generation after generation of street performers. Like their ancestors before them, they work a crowd and pass a hat. Oh, yeah. I'm totally...
こんにちは。ようこそって書いてあるわ。面白い。次の曲のタイトルがちょうどアロハエコモマイだ。どうしてわかったんだろう。そうね。四季の神様は何でもお見通しってことかしら。
Now, sometimes photographers will emphasize what they want you to think about by not putting it in their picture, or by putting only a piece of it in their picture.
A chicken in your suit, Phil. The chicken is so happy in my suit. We didn't get the whole translation, but I think the Ashmawi family was claiming to have been Gali since a couple of generations after Tyrannosaurus Rex. So, did the cups and balls trick really originate here in Egypt? We're heading about 200 miles south to the ancient tombs of Beni Hassan, where we may find the earliest paintings of the cups and balls ever recorded. We're talking 4,000 years old.
Ooh, the mystery of Beni Hassan. Ooh, the mystery. Ooh. I gotta get out of Cairo. I can't breathe. So we're gonna go up the Nile, right to there, which is Minya, and we're going to leave our representation of Cairo, all of which ends up in your lungs, and we're going to go up the Nile of Cheese Whiz to Minya, where Teller will see the cups and balls, and I will be one of the huddled masses longing to breathe free. Teller's sitting here with Mortez, who's our government minder. He's here to make sure that all the wheels are greased, among other things, and make sure that we make Egypt look good, which we're doing a fine job of. And Teller's just playing with the cups and balls with Mortez. When Teller was 8 or 9 years old, he was given a book called This Is Magic by Will Dexter. Teller learned that cups and balls is known to be the most ancient magic trick because there were pictures of it on the walls of the Beni Hassan tombs in Egypt. Since then, there's been some controversy as to whether or not that's true. Some people say it's not the cups and balls at all, but just a couple of guys playing some kind of game. But we're going to see those tomb walls for ourselves. Ooh, the mystery. Ooh, the mystery. Ooh. So here we are in Minya. Minya was a hotbed of Islamic fundamentalism. We're going here? And our government minders are visibly nervous about our security. Are we have an armed escort? Which one is our armed escort? They're all armed?
Yeah, we'll have our own private army.
And they wouldn't let me bring my piece in. We've arranged to meet up with Lila Brock, an Egyptologist working in the Valley of the Kings. She'll go to the tombs with us tomorrow, but her train is running late. We've been typing in to our little fan club on the internet about our adventures over here. Since they all heard at our little fan club that we were eating canned pears, they've decided to, now it's 10 o'clock in the evening over here, and they're having canned pears at just about noon on the West Coast, and we're enjoying it with them. Same size cans, everything. We didn't tell them about the Cheese Whiz. Getting on to midnight, and Lila still hasn't made it.
Another thing that photographers often do to get you to see things the way that they do is to use their frame to make you think about relationships. They want you to think about the relationship or connection between two or more people or things within the frame.
So, Lila, we've had people with guns and trucks following us around all day, and we're doing that to be here to go to this tomb. And what are we going to see in the tomb?
Well, right now we're looking at this old volume by Percy Newbery.
The Percy Newbery?
The Percy Newbery, about Benny Hassan. And I'm just going to show you the illustration here. It shows two men, and they seem to have 4 cups between them.
Now, this is on the wall of a tomb, right?
Yes, of someone called Backet III, and I think he was one of the governors of Benny Hassan during the Middle Kingdom.
I guess what I don't get is this would be this guy's life story would be like, oh, you know, a lot of guys danced, and then these ladies danced, and we all applauded for them. We took some cattle to market, and then we punished some people, and then we did the cups and balls, and now I'm dead. Is
It's not a very cheerful life.
Well, you know, it could be worse. You could be building pyramids all day.
Yeah, in some ways it's a demonstration of his wealth and importance to show that indeed he can employ these many people. I kind of get the impression of what's going on here is he's lifting something up, and there's something underneath it, or... Well, what do you think they're doing here, anyway?
We could always edit this whole part out, but we'll just pretend a lot that we're really sure this is the cups and balls. It shouldn't take much to buy Egyptologists to say, absolutely, that's the cups and balls, we haven't wasted our time. How much could she cost? You could grease her easy.
Oh, there's Benny Hassan.
Much better protected than you can see. They won't let us shoot anyone in uniform, which is more than half of the population of this particular group is in uniform and has weapons. There's even boats around us that have guns, turrets and stuff. But every time we try to shoot them, we get reprimanded. So we're being reprimanded right now. They got a better gig than the city ones. The city beasts of burden have it tougher.
In some of the tombs, they dig a shaft, and they with a little room down at the bottom, and they would have put the actual burial in there. And what we're seeing that we call a tomb is actually the visiting area.
I see.
For relatives to come and leave offerings. So I guess 15 is down to the left.
Are these the numbers we're looking at? There's 22 here?
I think so, yeah.
That means we maybe have like 7 to go?
Looks like it.
I want to show off my math skills.
يا مرحبا احنا هنا موجودين في بني حسن.
He's welcoming us to Benny Hassan.
Thanks. Great sound. You go first, I'm afraid.
Okay. No, it treats in here. Ooh, hell, owie.
You want to go ahead? Oh, man.
There it is. That's it.
This would have been very bright when it was first done, right?
Oh, very bright.
Brilliant color.
There does seem to be something more. The fellow who's on our right. We can see his hand there. You think he might be holding something?
I don't see anything at all, but Teller wants to take a closer look. Do you see anything that could be added there at all? We're really hoping to see some sort of ball type thing. It's very hard to look for cups and balls stuff because the whole room is just so so awe-inspiring. I mean, even the way it sounds when you go is just terrifying. And to think that those are up there for 4,000 years. Weird thing is we're staring here, and right over there's a guy pulling a rabbit out of a hat. And he looked over, and they're sawing a woman in half over here, and we're looking at the intermission thing, you know.
I'd like to take a much closer look.
But this isn't the only ancient entertainment painting in the tomb.
Is there juggling? There is? Let's look at the juggling. Oh yeah, that's clearly juggling. I started out as a juggler. That's where I started before I get into magic. I'm much happy about this. I guess once again the jugglers have beat the magicians here. We have clear proof here that that's wow.
And there might have been something here. See? Look at the red. It almost looks as if the artist originally had the hand in this position with something red in it, that's right. And then he changed his mind and took it out.
It's hard to even think in here. It's hard to talk because the sound is so reverent. You know, even when you clear your throat, it sounds very, very important. It's all very awesome, not in the California sense, but in the literal sense. And it's pretty cool. I mean, I know that this thing is mostly on magic, but it's tangentially to see the juggling is pretty great. It's really great. We don't know really whether that painting up there is indeed the cups and balls, but we do know that cups and balls is done throughout the world and has been done as far as we know forever. And this is our version of it that just uses 3 plastic cups and uses 3, in our case, aluminum foil balls. Simple props, simple moves. It's done like this. Watch carefully. Takes the ball, places it in his hand, vanishes it, and it appears underneath the cup. Takes the second ball, places it in his hand, and it appears once again underneath the cup. It's a pretty simple plot. Takes the ball, places it in his hand, places it underneath the cup, and then it appears underneath the cup. Magical. Okay, 3 cups, 3 balls. You take the center ball, place it underneath the center cup. Each of the side balls, put them away. And then underneath the center cup, there is a 3-ball party. 3 balls underneath the cups. And then, little magic move, there's 1 more under the center cup, 1 more under either side, and of course, a potato for the finish. Is there a potato drawn up there at all? Now that's the way it would have been done 4,000 years ago. We would hope that would amuse and amaze them, but it wouldn't shock them at all. We wanted, at the end of the 20th century, to add something a little bit more American, a little bit different. So we decided to break a few rules of magic, most of which go back probably much more than 4,000 years. First rule of magic is you never do the same trick twice. We're going to do the same trick twice. Second rule of magic is you never let the audience see your secret preparation. You can't let anyone know what is hidden in which pocket. The third rule of magic is you never tell an audience how a trick is done. I'm going to tell you exactly how this trick is being done. And the fourth rule of magic, I guess the pharaohs would have never thought of, but you never ever do the cups and balls with clear plastic cups. So here's the cups and balls again, this time in our version. We take the first ball, we're going to place it in our hand, and we've already stuck it underneath the first cup. We take the second ball, simultaneously secrete it beneath the cup, pretend to place it in our hand, and show it. We take the third and final ball, pretend to place it in our hand, pretend to show it underneath the cup, place it in the cup, and secretly secrete it and reveal it. Now we're all set for the second half. 3 cups all loaded, 3 balls on top. The center ball, place it in the center cup. Each of the side balls, we put them away, we don't need them anymore. We have 3 duplicates underneath the center cup. With these 3 balls, I come over here. Now this is not juggling. What this is called is misdirection. For looking over here, Toast takes the final ball under. There's 1 more on either side. And of course, for our finish, a very Egyptian potato.
Maybe it was the blistering heat or the exhausting climb up the side of the mountain. Maybe it was just the romance of standing in an ancient Egyptian tomb. But the more distance we put between us and those wall paintings, the less it seems like there's any chance that they were the cups and balls. It seems just as likely they were ancient Egyptian bongo players or something. There may have been a rich Egyptian tradition of magic, but sadly it seems to have faded unless you count reruns of the Ed Sullivan Show. The reason we think of Egypt as so magical is because American and English magicians at the end of the 19th century painted hieroglyphs on their props to make them look more mystical. But coming up into the 21st century, if you want to find Egyptian magic, you're going to have to come here to Las Vegas, Nevada. How you doing? We're out of Egypt. Let my people go. You know, we've enjoyed all these galley men in their cafes and on their streets and so on, but the rings are nice and the cups and balls are nice, but we're from the United States of America, Las Vegas. We like to do big tricks.
That was live theater. This is television. Television is no big deal. Television is a snap. Keep on thinking.
A very well-framed composition, don't you think?